What's up, everybody? This is Peter again for Sports Hot Rumors and Debates. How are you guys? Excuse me if it's a little low, but I'm wanted to make a video as soon as possible. Guys, let's talk about how the Arizona Cardinals did yesterday, and they played their best game all around. That was a great game. Starting with the defense, it was awesome. Kyler played his best game to me in a very long time. He didn't make turnovers the way he usually does. The plays that he did is the plays that he needs to do, right? Like, because people kept criticizing the offensive coordinator and everything, and it just goes to show you, if Kyler uses Marvin Harrison Jr. and he uses Trey McBride, which I've been saying a million times, look at how dominant those two could be. Which is why, if you've seen the last video I made, I'm trying to wonder how in God's name we are not scoring that much. Now, let's take everything with a grain of salt, right? Because Miami is terrible at defense, right? Miami, just especially when Tua's playing, like, it's usually a high-scoring game. But you still got to give the Cardinals credit, right? There was two plays to me that he made, which is why we drafted him, right? The first play is when he ran and threw it to Wilson in the back of the end zone. He was able to get away from the rush, and he didn't start trying to throw off of his back foot. He didn't try to rush around. He planted his feet and he threw it correctly, right? The Kyler, when he makes mistakes, is when he's throwing on the run, when he's throwing off of his back foot. That was a great play by Kyler Murray. The other play that I thought was really well was, even though he got blitzed really hard when Marvin made that diving catch, to me, there was only one guy who can catch it, and that was Marvin, right? Even if you throw a bad throw, but Marvin, you let your defender have the only chance to get it. It's either going to be incomplete or, right, we're going to have a great catch. But don't force it in the middle. Don't do anything. So I thought that throw that he made was really spectacular, to put it even anywhere near like Marvin at that point. But this is the point of Kyler Murray, and this is where I think us, especially me, us Cardinal fans, get frustrated with Kyler, because you see what could happen if we continue to play when the right thing. We caught a big break, right? We were down 20-10, and it looked like it was going to be another one of those one drive from Kyler, have a great drive, and then not score for a while, which would look like it was happening. But the safety in the back of the end zone was huge, and then it gave us good field position, and the Cardinals made a really good job. The defense was really focused in on Connor, and Kyler was able to play a lot better than he did before, because when you have a good runner like Connor, they have to cheat up and everything. So I love what we've seen. But a few of the things that I really want to talk about that I think really goes under the radar. Now, the Dolphins had 27 points, right? It doesn't matter. If you looked at what Arizona did to that defense did to that team, that they have, excuse me, one second. Sorry, somebody's honking like crazy. So if you look at what the defense did to a tough team, when you have a guy like Achane, you have a guy like Tua, you have a guy like Hill, you have a guy like Waddle, they can play. And Arizona kept them in the game once again. The difference is, okay, that we capitalized when we needed to capitalize. And that's important. Now, obviously, we won the two games that on schedule we had to win. The Chargers, and we beat the Dolphins, right? When you're looking at the schedule, you have to win those games. That's immediately. So if you look at what we have coming up, besides the Bears, we have the Jets, the Patriots, and the Panthers. That should give us 7 wins right off the bat. Obviously, football, you never know what happens, right? But between the Jets, the Panthers, and the Patriots, you have to win those games, right? The Patriots and the Panthers should be easy. The Jets are going to be harder, right? Just because you know how they can score, right? But the way they looked yesterday against the Patriots, they looked defeated. So Arizona has to capitalize on this. But where this is going to go again is if Kyler can do the same thing, right? Can he do that? Now, when there's a good defense, are you able to find McBride, and are you able to find Marvin? Because that's going to be the key, right? The way those two guys went up and got passes yesterday, the way they went the yards after the catch was great. This is why, if Kyler can make just a few good throws a game, right? And then the rest could be simple, we got it. It's very simple. Now, again, you know how I feel about what I think. When we play good defenses, I don't think we're going anywhere, right? But it doesn't matter. If there could still be improvement, if you can still do something like this, then everything changes. So what I want to see is when we play a good defense, like the Bears coming up, right? They have good defense. So I want to see how we're going to react to that. But use McBride. This guy is an animal, right? Kyler doesn't even have to be. If you guys watched, I put a video. Marcus Spears says how he thinks Kyler is, for Arizona to win a Super Bowl, everything has to happen right? It's definitely not going to be Kyler. It has to be a splash of Kyler. It has to be the run game. It has to be the defense. It has to be special teams. A lot has to happen for us to win, because teams know how to block Kyler out, and Kyler's going to have to be extra. But if we can minimize what Kyler has to do, where he doesn't have to do too much, then there's a better chance. But again, why I said this in the beginning of the year, Arizona really invested on defense, and people were laughing at it, and look how good they're playing. You got to give them a lot of credit, because when it was 20-10, we could have easily, Miami could have scored, it could have been over. And then we did our job on offense. Kyler did great, McBride did great, and Marvin did fantastic. To me, that's how you win games. Okay, but again, let's see what happens when we play tough defense, because let me tell you, the Rams right now, they look extremely scary. That is a different team. Kyren Williams is an animal. Kupp and Nakua is just incredible. That's a team that's very scary. And the Niners are just, look what they did yesterday. So with McCaffrey coming back in 2 weeks, that's why I wish we won a few more games and not being 4-4, because right now we're all tied. And what worries me is if you look at a lot of the teams, I think we're going to have to win our division for us to make the playoffs, unless we can go on a winning streak and sneak into one of the wild card spots. But yesterday was definitely a start, and what I'm hoping for is it's not everything I'm talking about where you get one great game from Kyler and one horrible game. We're looking for consistency, and the way to get consistency is McBride and Harrison. Let's see, guys. Hopefully we make it. Take care.